Kyle, maybe just talk a little bit about how you guys responded in that game last night and how timely that was with what you're looking at now over the next week and a half.
Yeah, we obviously knew the challenge in front of us going into their building. Obviously not playing the way we wanted to, and regrouped and made some adjustments and got to our game. And you obviously can see the result of that when we play the right way.
How much or how important was it? I guess maybe from the outside we think, well, you guys should beat them 5-0 too. When it was 3-0, maybe it was trending that way. But how valuable is that to have a game like that where you are pushed right from the start to the very end?
Yeah, I mean, this is all building for the playoffs for us, and moments where we can look back on and how we handled that, and lessons that everybody can learn in our room here, and that's what the regular season's about. It's about building your identity. I think we've done a pretty good job of that over the last couple of years, and we know what it looks like. And we go into Florida, and it's for whatever reason it wasn't there that night. We knew exactly what to do, and we were able to do that and fix it and turn it around and put together a good effort.
One final one for me, and that Scott mentioned last night that he'd had some good conversations in the lead up to last night's game, and the overwhelming message from the core group, which you are a part of, but that Scheifele line and the Morrissey pairing is you guys wanted to be the guys that set the table, if you will, last night. Maybe tell us a little bit about that 24 to 48 hour period and how you guys went about your business.
Long flight coming back from Florida to start, and then day off, practice day, and
I meant though just the conversations with Scott, the messages that you sent to Scott as individuals or as a group. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah. Honestly, nothing out of the ordinary. It was, after a loss like that, it's we look internally and how we can improve and how can we, not make that happen again. And listen, we want to make the difference every single night. Our line, it's just the type of minutes we play and type of impact that we believe we can have on the game. And when it doesn't go your way like that, you're pissed off. And you're lucky enough we were able to play that same team again. And I think there was a lot of motivation behind it to prove that going up a team like that, Stanley Cup champions, that they we can play with them.
Sorry, Kyle. I'm just really curious. You've been around this team a long time. Lots of 2-game losing streaks. How did this one feel different, and does that speak to maybe different expectations internally and kind of a raised bar with this group?
It felt differently as you don't really play a team back to back a lot, and that aspect where you can get real specific with systems and adjustments, and you see that in the playoffs too. You play the same team for 5-7 games of the series, so it's a little bit of familiarity there, but. With this group and how we've been trending and how we've been approaching every single day, it's how can we improve. Even on the wins, we still look at stuff that we didn't do well in the games, and nothing out of the ordinary, honestly.
Would it be fair to say you almost took this one more personally than maybe some 2-game losing streaks in the past, because that's not acceptable? That's not the standard that you guys are setting for yourselves?
That is part of our identity. What we're building is, don't get comfortable with that in certain situations. So I can see where you're coming from there, listen, it's we got a really competitive group here. We know we want to win, and everybody's striving for that goal.
You mentioned the plane ride, and Scott Arneal mentioned it last night. How quiet was that plane ride home? A lot quieter than usual.
Usually after wins we enjoy it. It felt like a loss, put it that way. At the same time, we're pros. It's move on to the next one.
What goes into preventing a 2-game streak? It's not even a streak, but from becoming a streak. Like, things can snowball, we hear, right? You always talk about how negativity can snowball. So what goes into stopping that in its tracks?
I just think it's part of how we approached every single day this year, and kind of like Mike was saying on that last question, it's a real identity and kind of mentality switch for us, and to feel that coming and put a stop to it right away, and grab the guy next to you and realize that we got to turn this thing around.
Kyle, you talked about that being something you can look back on come playoff time. What specific, the way that your coaching staff dug into it, the way you guys came together and came up with a new plan. What about is what you would look back on and be like, listen, we can use that for game 2 of a series that we maybe lose game 1?
Yeah, I think that's, like I was saying, the regular season's all about that, little tidbits of how you can improve. And that specifically, I mean, they came after us the first game. They were skating. They took away our time and space. And that's the game we like to play. We need to skate. And, the biggest thing I took out of it was, you see the way we pressure their Ds and are on our toes and taking away their time and space. We almost played their game, back at them and played it to, the Winnipeg Jet hockey and a lot faster. And when you're doing that way, it's easier to read off your teammates, and you can kind of see the result of that. So, for sure, take something like that.
Have that one day at a time mentality. That I imagine that's really important when you're staring at 6 straight games on the road. You can't kind of look at the big picture too much, right?
Yeah, quite the schedule we got. It's road's a good time to come together as a team. You spend a lot of time with each other, so nothing out of the ordinary through however long I've been here. It's kind of a location aspect of how we approach our road trips. They're usually week long, but this one we got to bear down for sure.
Off the grid question, Scott O'Neill said he listened to music actually rather than watching video on that long flight home. What did you do? Did you watch the Lions preview or something to make you feel better?
We play cards back there, so we were snapping them around back there. Yeah.